What's your worst birthday memory? Story 1. So I had this friend over at my house, and it was going to be my 13th birthday. Well, my brother, who was 17 at the time, asked me to give him a shake, and I thought it would be funny to mix in all the worst things I could find. It had ketchup, mustard, soy sauce, Hershey's chocolate syrup, and plenty more. By the end, it was brown, that visually passed for a chocolate shake. Well, I gave it to him. He takes a sip and is gagging. My friend and I think it's hilarious, until he decides he's gonna beat my butt. Me and my friend take off running into the kitchen, where we were all running left and right around an island. My family keeps a centerpiece of apples and oranges, or whatever we feel like putting in a fairly large bowl in the center of the island, to which my brother decides he's tired of chasing us and just grabs an orange. I don't notice this yet, and he launches one at my head, smacking me perfectly in the temple. Orange bursts on impact, and I got knocked out on the spot. My friend is scared for his life, and at this point I've unconsciously peed myself. I come to, and my mom is losing her poop at my brother, who feels pretty bad now for knocking me out, then embarrassing me in front of a friend on my birthday. Needless to say, I had a headache that just wouldn't go away for what felt like forever. We all look back on it now and think it's pretty funny, but my mom still wants to beat my brothers for it. Your brother has some good aim. Story 2. My mother had just moved us in with our stepdads. It was summer, they met that winter, and we moved in the spring. Yanked us out of our schools, and we went to tiny, horrible local schools. It was a miserable time, and my new stepdad was very unpleasant. I was not allowed to have contact with any of my friends, the friends I grew up with. No email, nothing. So they tell me I can have a small birthday party and invite my friends, the ones I miss and grew up with. I'm so excited. They make plans. I make plans. My parents have me clean the entire house, and I do it all, happily. I finally felt heard. The day before, after doing yard work because of a party, my mom calls me out to the garage and says she's sorry, but the party won't be happening. She's contacted my friend's parents, and it's all off. Why? My stepdad is having a friend to visit that day. On my birthday. I was gutted. My birthday is not acknowledged beyond a verbal happy birthday at breakfast, to the point where when it finally came up during the visit with my stepdad's friend, this friend looked pretty appalled. I didn't know it was your birthday, and he seemed so sad and confused. That night, my mom said she and my stepdad were going to a coffee place. I asked to come, maybe a donut? No, you can stay here, right? That stupid pleading mom faces where they ask your permission not to prioritize you. It sucked. A super sweet 15, lol. Story 3. I had just turned 11 and had friends over for my birthday party. I brought people upstairs to show them my hamster. I get to her cage, look inside, and she's no longer alive. Devastating for little me. Awkward for all my friends. My son turned 4 this past Wednesday, and after I put him to bed that night, I noticed that his tortoise hadn't moved since lunchtime. He loves that guy. I picked him up, and sure enough, he was not alive. It was a 4-month-old hatchling. Not sure what went wrong, but I guess they're pretty fragile health-wise. I felt so bad for obvious reasons, but especially because it was his birthday. I had my husband run to buy a replacement while our son was at preschool the next day, but one that's a little older and hardier. I shuffled him off to school without letting him near the tank. Husband came home with one that's twice as old and 3 to 4 times bigger. Our son came home, ran to the tank, and was like, "Whoa, my baby got huge!" Then asked to call all his grandparents on FaceTime to show them how big he got. Story 4. My mom laughed as I opened up all the clothes from Walmart when I specifically told her to please not shop there for me. I wanted one outfit from Abercrombie. This was the 90s, FYI. She laughed as I cried. Then 3 months later, my sister got all the clothes from Abercrombie for her birthday. My mom used to do this, buy me presents for the holidays she knew I didn't want or wouldn't like, and then complain loudly about how spoiled and ungrateful I was whenever I expressed anything but elation. When I was 8, she talked an aunt of mine into buying a really expensive Barbie dream house for me when I hadn't played with Barbies in about 2 years. I didn't know how to react, so I would just awkwardly be choking back tears. She brought that up every single birthday for the next 10 years. She's shocked that I don't want a relationship with her anymore. Story 5. On my 10th birthday, I broke my arm in PE, from Supermaning into the cinder block wall. I might have had a concussion, but when I went down to the nurse, she sent me back to PE with an ice pack. Luckily, since it was my birthday, my mom was at the school to eat lunch with me and diagnosed it in 2 seconds from asking me to hold her car keys and me not being able to. I had gone into shock and was pale as a ghost at this time. Every year on my birthday, my mom gets a Facebook memory of a picture of me and the nurse at the hospital with my arm in a soft cast. Other than breaking my arm, my birthday was pretty great since I got the presents I wanted. Story 6. For my 11th birthday, I got my first camera. My dad took me to Argos to pick one out. He said the limit was 70 pounds, but the camera little me wanted was 85 pounds. It was this little Canon digital thing. He bought it, then just came out with, "Happy birthday, Jay, because that camera was 85 pounds, you owe me 15 pounds. He said this in front of all the staff, and continued to pester me for the money for another month before my mom found out what was going on and told him to stop. The normal parental response would have been mock reluctant acceptance. "Oh, go on then, if that's the one you really want," followed by paying for the dang thing like an actual adult, then wishing you happy birthday and moving on. Story 7. I have 2. I found out my girlfriend of 2.5 years had been cheating on me for 7 months with my best friend. She was sitting next to me on her phone when a notification from him came up, which she quickly swept away. Later, she'd left her phone at my house, and after just taking a glance, I knew what had happened. I had plans to go with my dad to see Megadeth live in concert. This was supposed to be a surprise, but my dad kind of ruined it when he blatantly asked, "Would you prefer floor or balcony seats?" I just found out 3 days ago, though, that Dave Mustaine, Megadeth's lead singer, had been diagnosed with throat cancer and that nearly all of their upcoming shows were canceled. Story 8. Family forgot my 14th birthday. I quietly told them at the end of the day. My dad yelled at me for not speaking up sooner, while my mom denied she forgot and was just waiting for the surprise. The surprise was $10 in a brown sack lunch bag. For context, that same year, my sister's 15th birthday took place in a country club, and she got a brand new car she wanted, even though she couldn't drive for another year. I got the last laugh, though, because I'm 100% independent from my family and happy, while my sister is 39, divorced, and has been living with my parents for the past 4 years to save up, although she still spends all her and my parents' money on designer clothes. Story 9. I had recently moved as a child and had a really rough time of getting friends. On my first birthday party there, I had 3 sort of friends come over to my house. It was the first time I ever had my own friends over. During the happy birthday song, my oldest sister came downstairs, shoved her hand into the middle of the cake my mom had made, then left. I don't remember the consequences or if she even got any, but I remember that sinking feeling of embarrassment and hopelessness. In the years to come, those friends did in fact become my best friends for a while. That sister seems like the type of person to have no friends and take that loneliness out on the others. Story 10. No one wished me happy birthday, and it did so when one friend did it. I got into the mood and started to cheer up way past midnight, singing "It's my B-Day," and got responded with, "Shh, your B-Day was yesterday." Another friend whose birthday was 3 days after mine got her birthday celebrated throughout the week. The friend that shushed me even gave her a nice present while I was hanging out with them, just the 3 of us, and acknowledged the awkwardness of me being there to witness it. I've never been close to people before at that point, so I was used to no one wishing me happy birthday. The present thing was like salt in the wounds, though, to be honest. Story 11. I came home from school when I was like 17 to a birthday cake and balloons, courtesy of my mom. It was just us 2, a new stepdad and a new stepsister. My stepsister was silent the whole time, probably because the attention wasn't on her. She could be very self-absorbed, and my stepdad seemed to mimic her demeanor because in his eyes, she can do no wrong. My mom was, as usual, super enthusiastic and great, but my stepsister ruined that moment for me with her joy-sucking attitude, and it foreshadowed some of the years to come. Story 12. When I was 15, I was supposed to hang out with my 2 best friends and go to the movies. My dad, who has never been in my life, showed up and guilt-tripped me into coming with him so he could do something with me for my birthday. He promised a dinner and to bring me back so I could hang out with my friends. We ended up going to some dude's house he loved, where my dad proceeded to smoke crack and fall asleep. So I spent my birthday sad, hungry, and basically babysitting my 39-year-old dad. F that guy. Story 13. When I was 8, my godmother bought me a bike, a girl's bike, for my birthday. It was pink and had streamers. She meant well. My parents explained that she chose it because it was the bike she always wanted when she was a little girl, but never got. Still, it was hard, as an 8-year-old boy, to pretend I was happy with it, knowing friends would tease me about it. I get that she had always wanted the bike, but why buy that for a boy? That's messed up. Story 14. Having a party the night before to be like, yay, happy birthday at midnight, and having my wallet stolen. I spent the entire next day, my birthday, canceling my cards and calling my friends to make sure no one had seen it anywhere, or has it, or know who might have it. As a bonus, my birthday is September 11th. So you can imagine how everyone likes to point that out, like I had no idea it's 9/11. Hey, your birthday's on 9/11. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Story 15. It was probably my first party with friends. I'd like to say I was probably 7, and I was addicted to Legos. I had Ninjago sets that I liked a lot, and at the party, I let people in my room, and I don't think I'll ever forget how devastated I was when I found out they'd destroyed all the sets and built other things with them. That was the last time I let friends over for my birthday for a while. Story 16. 2 years ago, my partner had a bad car crash when she was rushing home after collecting my birthday cake. I knew she was planning a surprise party, so I was all excited. We'll never forget that moment when I received a phone call from the family liaison officers and then rushed to the hospital, feeling all numb. Story 17. For my 16th birthday, my mom gave me a brochure about wall climbing. Not a wall climbing gift card or the plans to go wall climbing, just a brochure. I don't even like wall climbing. It's like being given the smell of your birthday cake without the actual cake. Story 18. I went paintballing for my birthday party last year and got shot in the crotch by my dad, who was on the same team. Thanks, Dad. I'm making sure you don't make the same mistakes I did. Dad, probably. Story 19. I had my birthday party at a roller skating rink in first grade. I invited everyone from my class and some family members as well. No one showed up except for my immediate family. I was so disappointed. Story 20. When I planned to go see a band abroad, but ended up getting spine surgery instead. Worst birthday ever. At least you got Jell-O. Please leave your stories in the comments. I'd love to make a video of them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.